Hi everyone, it's Jeff from Transient Specialists. Thanks for joining us today. Today we're going to be spending some time on the Rohde Schwarz ENV216 LISN. We'll start by going over a little bit about the LISN, then we'll move to the connections on the front and the back, and finally we'll walk through how to get the LISN set up for testing. The ENV216 is a single-phase 50 microhenry LISN able to handle up to 240 volts, 16 amps AC with a frequency range from 9 kilohertz to 30 megahertz. This LISN meets the requirements for CISPR, ANSI, FCC Part 15, as well as many other requirements. Let's go ahead and let's start by taking a look at some of the features of the ENV216. Now we're taking a look at page 3 of the data sheet, which highlights some of the different features. Some of the notable features include a built-in 10 dB attenuator pad and transient limiter. This will eliminate the need for external equipment and help protect the analyzer used for the measurements. As the bottom point indicates, it can also be controlled via a Rohde Schwarz receiver. If we take a look at the next page where we have the specifications, and we look towards the center of the page now, it's important to note that other models exist which have different current limitations. If we scroll down even farther towards the connectors section, we have our AC supply input and our AC supply input for the EUT, both being country specific. Let's go ahead now and let's take a look at the front of the ENV216. Here's the front of the ENV216. Let's go ahead and let's start from the left side and let's work our way right. In the lower left hand corner, we have the phase indicator LED for L1. The L1 will light up if the polarity of the mains plug is correct, and above that we have our reference ground connection. Next to that connection we have our blue country specific socket, which the equipment under test will be connected to. If we go ahead and we lift up the cover, we can see we have a standard NEMA style female connection, which is used here in the US. As we continue right, we have another reference ground connection. Taking a look now on the right side of the LISN, we have our remote LED and our on LED in the upper right hand corner. Below that we have a series of buttons. Starting on the left, we have our N and L1 buttons. These allow for the selection of the measurement path, and only one can be selected at a time. Next to that, we have our 150 kilohertz high-pass filter, which suppresses interference voltages common from switch mode power supplies. All the way on the right, our final button is our transient limiter. On the bottom of the right side, we also have our artificial hand and the RF output connection. Let's go ahead now, let's get the unit turned around and take a look at the back. Now we're taking a look at the back of the unit. Starting in the lower left hand corner, we have the external power supply input. Above that, we have the remote control connection. Working our way right, we have our protective grounding bolt. Finally, all the way on the right, we have the mains connection cable used to supply the equipment under test. Let's spend some time now and walk through the setup steps with the ENV216. Now we're going to go ahead and walk through the setup briefly, following the guidance in the user manual on page 17, which I'll put a link for in the description below. We're not going to walk through every step, but highlight some of the most important ones. The first of which is to connect the protective ground connection on the back of the ENV216 to a ground connection independent of the mains supply. Next, we can go ahead and connect the ENV216 to our mains supply. This device doesn't have an on-off switch, so the connection to the AC supply is used. Now we can go ahead and we can check and see our L1 LED is lit and our status is indicated as on. We're ready to go ahead and we connect our EUT and make our measurements. Let's go ahead now and let's take a look at the setups shown in the user manual on page 23. Now we're taking a look at the user manual and it provides sample measurement setups. The first one, which we're looking at now, illustrates the most common setup, including consideration given for the cabling. When conducting pre-compliance testing, setups may often vary depending on the test plan. If we scroll down 2 pages now, we also have a diagram where we have a setup with the artificial hand. Alright, that should complete the video today on the Rohde Schwarz ENV216. We began the video by going over a little bit about the LISN, then we moved to the connections in the front and the back, and finally we took a look at some setups with our ENV216. We hope this video has been useful, and please keep us in mind if you ever need to rent the Rohde Schwarz ENV216.